Hey guys, the reviewer here doing a review of Christopher Nolan's latest movie, Tenet. Tenet stars John David Washington, the son of Denzel Washington, who is known as the protagonist, who is set to stop an event that is worse than World War III. Now, Tenet's a movie I was really looking forward to because I love Christopher Nolan's movies. A lot of his movies, they tend to interest me, even if a lot of the times there's a lot of them where I'm like, oh, I like this movie. I don't fully understand it, but I like it. And the thing about Tenet that's unique is that it has this concept in it known as time inversion, where things are basically going in reverse. And the way it's done is very cool because one of the things that they've said in the featurette for before the anniversary re-release of Inception was that everything you see, most of the things you see in the movie, were actually done practically, and that to me is pretty friggin' neat because that leads to some genuinely fascinating, fascinating things you see throughout this film's runtime. And let's talk about the acting in it. The acting in Tenet is really good. You've got an amazing performance from John David Washington because he really shines in this film, and you have his co-star Robert Pattinson. And Robert Pattinson's an actor I genuinely like when he's given a good script. Because when Robert Pattinson is given a good script for a movie, he really shines, and he shines in this movie. Like his acting in it is really well done. He's a very, very likable character, a very mysterious character. You're not really entirely sure exactly whose side he's on, and there's like a twist. There's a bit of a twist at the end. That's actually like I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's kind of a little confusing, but it also kind of makes sense if you think about it. In fact, a lot of things that are like that in this movie, like if I had to throw any criticism at it, it would probably be the some of the way the movie plays out, because the movie has a tendency to jump around from scene to scene, and sometimes it flows well and it makes sense. And then there's other times where it basically feels like a jump cut. You're just like, wait, what happened? And that's probably like one of the only not even a criticism. Like I thought actually it does work because it kind of puts you in this disoriented feel, and I get the sense that's what Christopher Nolan was going for. You're disoriented, but you can you're sort of being able to follow it. And it's a really really cool movie. The action scenes in it are great. When there's an action scene, it's intense. And with the concept of time inversion, it gets really trippy at times. Like it gets really really trippy. And the best part about it also is the villain, who is played by Kenneth Branagh, and he is a really really good villain in this movie. He's a scary person. You don't really you know a lot. You don't know much about him, but you're given details about him throughout the film, and you're given this feeling like he's one of those people you would not want to mess with. And I really loved this movie. I mean, I would have been really let down if this movie had been not that good. I really would have been let down because Tenet was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I kept wondering if I was even going to get to see it because the date kept changing. Like, because the film came out here in Canada yesterday, but like its original date was supposed to be um its original date was like supposed to be back in July. Then it got moved a bit to no, first it was supposed to be like July 12th. Then it got moved to the end of July. Then it got moved to August 12th, and then moved up to the 26th in some places because it already was released in some countries, and it was also it's it is getting released in the states, but it's kind of confusing when because I mean they're saying September 3rd. I think it's September. Yeah, I think they're saying September 3rd. But from what I've been understanding, I don't think it's like getting. I don't think it's getting like a traditional release. I mean, it's not going VOD. It's still getting a theatrical release, but I just don't know what the situation is for its release in theaters because you've been watching in the states, a lot of movie theaters are still closed. In fact, the ironic thing is AMC theaters was set to reopen back in July, but then when Tenet got moved, they decided not to. And I'm not sure if they're open now or if they're not. It really is confusing, but that's kind of the world we live in. But Tenet is a really great movie, and if you're in for a movie that's like gonna mess with your head a bit, you're in for a ride. And it's a fun ride, in my opinion. I loved it. Anyway, the reviewer signing out.